Special products. We have two different types of special products in this section. Difference of squares and perfect squares. Now the truth is, you don't really need to memorize this. We're going to have some formulas. What these really are is shortcuts to help you speed things up. And it's mostly pattern recognition. Look what happens when we have two binomials. These are called binomials because they have two pieces. And they're exactly the same except for the sign in the middle. One's got a minus, one's got a plus. Look what happens. When you multiply this out, you get x squared plus 3x minus 3x minus 9. The 3x's go away, and you're left with x squared minus 9. What we have left is known as a difference of squares because we have a square, and 9 happens to be 3 squared, so that's a square also. Alright, so I'm going to skip down to number 3 here. And let's just work this out. It's a little weird with the letters, but you can see what's going to happen. You're going to have a times a, then you're going to have minus, or I'm sorry, a times a is a squared, then you're going to have minus ab, and then here you're going to have plus ba, and then minus b squared. ab and ba are the same thing, just in different orders. This one has a minus, this one has a plus, so those go away. So the little shortcut here is, if you recognize that these two things are exactly the same, except one has a plus and one has a minus, you don't need to do all of the work. All you really need to do is multiply the things out front. So 3x times 3x is 9x squared. And then you're going to get a minus. 5 times 5 is 25. If you don't recognize that, if you don't remember it, and you simply multiply out like we normally do, that's fine. That's no big deal. It saves a few seconds to do this. Alright, and then we have something called perfect squares, which is kind of along the same line. Now, x plus 3 squared, you've got to remember that that's x plus 3 times x plus 3. Squaring means multiply something by itself. Multiply it out. You get x squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 9. The thing to notice is you got exactly the same thing in the middle this time. So that's x squared plus 6x plus 9. Note, important note, x plus 3 squared does not equal x squared plus 9. Squares do not work as a distributive property over addition. You can't just square the first one, square the last one. You've got to write it out. Okay? Let's try this next one. So this would be 2x plus 5 times 2x plus 5. That's 4x squared, and then you're going to have a plus 10x. You're going to have another plus 10x, and then a plus 25. The key is, what we're building on is, notice that the 3x is matched here, the two middle terms matched. The two middle terms match here too. That's 4x squared plus 20x plus 25. Now, let's work it out with just letters in general. A plus b times a plus b. That's a squared plus ab plus ba plus b squared. So what you end up with is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Okay, so what this gives you is, it gives you again a little shortcut. If I ask you to take 3x plus 4 and square it, what this formula says to do is square the first thing. So I take 3x and I square it, that gives me 9x squared. Then I multiply the two things together and multiply by 2 because it shows up twice. So I take 4 times 3x, that's 12x, and then I multiply it by 2, that gives me 24x. And then I square the last thing, 16. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Most students who see this would write out 3x plus 4, 3x plus 4, and then they would work it out the long way. And that's fine. this formula that we just figured out here, it's a nice little shortcut when you get used to it. When you get used to it, it makes it very quick to just write the answer down. If you don't like the formula and you always want to do this and then multiply it all out and add your like terms, perfectly fine with me. You'll get the right answer. So this is really just a convenient little shortcut. I'm going to skip down to the last one here. Notice this one has minuses in it. These three, where those three had pluses. You got kind of the same thing here. If I were to write this out, a minus b times a minus b, I would have a squared, and then I would have a minus ab. I would have a minus ba, and a minus would make a plus b squared. So that would be a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Notice, very, very similar. The only thing that changed is this plus turned into a minus. So again, this is really just a little bit of a shortcut for you. If you want to write out x minus 7, and multiply it all out, wonderful. If not, if you're somebody who likes formulas, here's a little shortcut. The shortcut says square the first one. That's x squared. Then it's going to be a minus. You multiply them. 7 times x is 7x. And then you double it, because you always get the same thing in the middle twice. So that's going to be minus 14x. And then plus, you square the last one. So again, once you get used to this formula, these become very quick. If you don't like the formula, don't worry about it. It's fine with me. All right, so again, I'm going to use the formula. Square that one. 36x squared minus, multiply them. 6 times 2 is 12. And then double it, because of the 2 in the formula. 24x. And then square the last one plus 4. Okay, so this section's really about a couple shortcuts. If you don't like the shortcuts and you like to write things out and multiply them to be comfortable that you're getting the right answer, do it that way. At this point, it's more important that you get the right answer than it is that you do it the shortcut way.